Hello and welcome to Thaiger Bites. I'm Jay and this is Tim, and this is the section where we get to address your comments and feedback from all of our shows on YouTube, our posts and news stories on Facebook, Instagram, and also Thaiger Talk Forum on thethaiger.com.
I've got a rather funny one from Thaiger Talk today. We'll get to that later.
Right, before we start the show, we'd like to thank our sponsors Coffee Culture for providing us these beautiful mugs, as well as ground and coffee beans from all across Thailand. You can visit coffeeculture.asia to find your roast coffee and type in the code THETIGER to get a 10% discount. Right, let's get on with the show.
Robert Zante, a bit of a long one here, and this includes some information we gave in Good Morning Thailand today. Is make sure that when you're talking about the new pill for COVID, that you state clearly that this treatment doesn't replace the vaccine. You would still need to get the shot. Also, this treatment is for people who are sick and showing strong symptoms. So thank you, Robert, for reminding us about that. We've included that information as a bit of an addition to our story yesterday on the matter.
Right, I've got a comment here from the Thai Light Zone, who says, those 7-Eleven raincoats make me sweat so much that I think I end up just as wet. I guess he's talking about yesterday we showed a picture of Tim who was riding his motorbike to work, and it was raining, so he was wearing his 7-Eleven raincoat. Those are made of what? Very plastic,
very
basically.
Flimsy plastic. I mean, they usually last you about one motorcycle ride. Although I do have one I've had for about 3 or 4 years that I keep on using, but generally...
But they only cost 10 baht, don't they?
It was 22 baht yesterday.
Oh,
they used to
right.
be about 20 baht.
Okay.
But they're very flimsy, and yeah, they just over you and cover everything up, and they usually get destroyed in one puff
Is it
of wind.
hot in there?
No, not particularly. I think if you're just wearing like a singlet and you've got a lot of skin exposed, yeah, it's going to stick to your skin and you're going to perspire like crazy, of course.
All right, Thailand Zone, we hear you.
Imran Asif, and he's talking about Jet's Thailand News Today program. He says, and Jet, by the way, has got very good diction, very good pronunciation. He says, please speak more slowly so that I can digest and mentally process the news you deliver. Thank you in advance. So, Jet, looks like you're going too fast for Imran.
Well, Imran, actually, just a pointer, you can actually slow down the speed of the video on YouTube.
I was going to say that.
You can actually lower the speed so you can better digest the news.
Of course, you can turn the captions on as well so you can read what he's saying. And yeah, you can dial it down to like 25% slower or 50% slower. That would be pretty silly if you did that.
Because some people prefer it being faster or slower just so that they can, get on with it and get the information faster or quicker.
Okay.
Right. I have a comment here from the Scousers who says, got to say, if Tim and Jet had a child, it would definitely look like Jay. Just saying, like to hear your feedback on this.
Yeah, well, it's a very important question. If Jet and I had a child, which I think is impossible anyway, using the Monty Python question, where's the fetus going to gestate? Are you going to keep it in a box? So, and looking at Jet and looking at me and considering that some sort of combination of that might end up as Jay, I think is absurd. In fact, I think the whole question's absurd.
The Scouser, I think he's a bit confused there in Liverpool.
Yes.
All right.
Take your medication, dear. How do I pronounce that name?
Jorn,
Jørstad?
I guess.
Or Jorn Jørstad? You can tell us what we're saying wrong. Is this news for English-speaking foreigners? If so, why do you talk about a corrupt cop? Everybody knows that a lot of cops are corrupt, but we do not care. This is news for Thais, not us Farangs. Please give us news that we can use, not local gangster news. Well, I mean, I think we're here to provide the news from around Thailand, and sometimes if there is corruption and it becomes news and people want to know about it and people are talking about it, then that sort of defines what's news. We don't decide what we're going to publish. Can I keep going? As far as what we're going to publish, it comes from what people are searching for, and that gives us the cues to what news we're going to find and write about. So, I think this is an important news story. I mean, it's a big news story. partly because it was caught on video and it was so dramatic. So I think, we'll continue to write about Joe Ferrari.
Right. I have a comment here from Minburi, Bangkok, who says the 500 baht would be expected if they showed where it is going. He's talking about the 500 baht tourist tax starting next year. They say to maintain the parks and other tourist amenities, be more transparent and abolish the overpricing for foreigners into national parks. Make it free. Minburi, firstly, regarding national parks, yes, I completely agree. It's a bit ridiculous when they ask you to pay as a foreigner just to enter the park. However, for other things, I guess it makes a lot more impact on certain things that you do across Thailand that the foreigner has to pay a lot more than the Thai person. So what do you think about this? You have actually spoken about this, that you would like them to come out and actually say how they will use this money, which I'm hoping that they will.
Yeah, look, I think we need some more transparency with this particular issue. So say, where you're going to collect the tax, levy, charge, whatever you want to call it, what are you going to spend it on? And then we all know. At the moment, they're saying, we're just going to add a new tax, 500 baht. We're not going to tell you how or where. So I think that's the problem. There's just no transparency yet.
Yep.
Scott Rawdon says the drug works by creating errors in the DNA code. What could go wrong? Referring to the new Merck tablet, which is being developed as another part of the fight against COVID-19, a new antiviral drug. I'm not sure that that's the case, Scott, but you've already decided that you don't like it. And are the anti-vaxxers going to now become anti-tablet people?
I hope not.
So, look, I think let's leave this to the scientists to develop these, let them do the testing, and let organisations like the FDAs in different countries to decide whether these things should be allowed for human consumption or not, because they're the ones who are trained to decide these things, not you.
Right. I have a comment here from Chad Williams, who says, enough subject comment. Jay, your right side cowlick is out of control. I believe he's talking about my hair. A vigorous use of a brush prior to coming to work is a suggestion. Maybe hair gel or a liberal use of water might be a low impact solution to your hair challenge. Possibly look to your fashion conscious partner in Chiang Mai, or just keep it simple like Tim. Just saying. Chad, firstly, thank you for the comment. I do agree that my cowlick
Your hair's a disaster, Jay. Just
is
face
out
it.
of control. I will cut my hair. Yes, I'm waiting to cut my hair, but I have
one?
not had a chance yet. Sorry,
Which one?
my hair here.
You said your hair.
Yeah, my
your
hairs. Sorry,
hairs.
the hairs.
Oh,
the hair.
okay.
I need a haircut.
Right.
Yes.
But you sort of don't really have a hair game, do you? Your hair is just, Jet obviously
To the
spends
side.
he spends a bit of time doing his hair.
Yes.
Let's talk about your hair for the rest of the program.
And/or possibly wears a wig, allegedly.
A porcupine, I
No,
think.
he's got amazing hair. Let's be honest. Jet's got his hair game on. That's not a competition. He's already won. As for Tim, yeah.
Very easy for me. VAT 69.
Okay.
Coppers murdering people, police corruption, people trafficking, organised underage prostitution, payoffs of coppers, etc., etc. And I'll add here, allegedly. Holy cow, I thought I was living in Thailand, not Colombia. But keep an eye out for that Farang on a one-day overstay. He may be dangerous. Thank you for your cynicism and sarcasm, VAT 69.
Right. Moving on, I have a comment here from Tokataki Tauji.
I'm sorry?
Tokataki Tauji. That is his name.
Okay.
And he says, regarding, I got my booster shot yesterday. He says, booster shot is an excuse to hide Jay's morning drinking habit. Moving on.
Well, your morning drinking habit includes coffeeculture.asia coffee.
That's right. You can find the latest blends of coffee, whether they're Robusta, Arabica, or organic, on coffeeculture.asia.
So, more comments now about the new Merck tablet that
Yeah.
we spoke about briefly in Good Morning Thailand yesterday. How do 1% govern 99%? That's the name of the person. And he or she said, the old shout down ivermectin from day one is no money to be made out of this cheap pill. Rebranded and magic COVID tablets make millions. Sheep be all over this. Well, How do 1% govern 99%? You probably just need to check your spelling and your grammar. But moving on from that, the new pill from Merck is not, absolutely not, a rebranded ivermectin. So let's clarify that.
Okay, I've got a comment here from Philip who says, "Hi to you, Tim and Jay." Hello to you, Philip. Just a thought, what is the chance of doing, say, a 2-hour show, like in the UK and USA? Having guests and one thought, a cooking part showing how to cook good meals.
Imagine me showing people how to cook. I can't even cook for myself.
The show you now do is great, except for me it's too short. Waking up and watching Good Morning Thailand is great, so putting the show on for a couple of hours would be great. Start to the mornings. I'm sure lots of expats would agree with me. Keep up the good work. Philip, yeah, we would love to do the show for longer. However, we found that 20 minutes is approximately the time that people prefer watching the show. It also depends on how long people watch the show, but
I couldn't afford me.
I feel like 20 minutes is appropriate. What do you think about a 2-hour show?
Well, I'm not really sure what we'd fill it with. We'd probably need at least another 1 or 2 people to speak to. We'd definitely need a few producers. We'd need a budget. We'd need a proper set. We're just not really set up to do a program of that length at this time.
You're a busy man. Do you even have 2 hours?
Oh, I don't. I'm a very busy person. And you're very lucky to have me here for 20 minutes.
Yeah, so thank you for the comment,
I'm watching
Philip.
my clock, so get on with it.
Yeah, thank you for the comment, Philip. We will, however, some things that you have said, we will be making new shows, so perhaps we could incorporate your ideas in those.
Perhaps you'd like to make a massive donation so we could afford to do it. Most of it being my pay. Bodhi Zephyr has contributed and said, "Is there a pill that can make my hair as wonderful as Jet's?"
Oh.
My response is, if there is, I'll take it. And so will he.
One more from you?
Oh, another one from me. Okay. Steve Schertzer says, "Now the anti-vax nutters have an antiviral pill to be against. We can't take it. It's experimental," they will say. So it's back to praying to the gods for these people, summoning the tree spirits, calling an exorcist, sacrificing an animal, and drinking its blood. Welcome back to the 13th century, science illiterate fools.
Oh my.
I think Steve's made his point quite clear.
Yeah.
And we'll leave it at that.
Right. Comment here from Graham Walker, who says, "The biggest issue with the additional charge of tourists is where the money actually goes." Again, talking about transparency, rest assured it will not go towards what the government tells you. It will be skimmed. So Graham's being very critical of the government and possibly saying that they might take that money for themselves. So Graham, that's your opinion. Thank you for the comment. However, we don't know. Hopefully they do come out and say how they will spend the money. And
saying that the government are going to be skimming it, I think that's probably going a bit too far. But certainly we would all like to know where the money's going to be spent and how it's going to be collected. Simple answers, really.
Right.
This is from Tiger Talk and a person called Scott James in Thailand. "Will the Tiger have their own merchandise? Would love a Tiger t-shirt and coffee mug. Coffee culture, of course." So, we're thinking about merchandise. I've just got some ideas. I thought we could do a black t-shirt with the tiger from the painting. You know, the coloured tiger.
Okay, yeah.
I thought that might be a nice t-shirt.
That'd be cool.
Apart from the ones with the tiger logo, which you're not wearing today. Where did you get that t-shirt?
Why?
You got an iron at home?
It's a classic. It's what, an iron?
It hasn't been within 1,000 kilometres of an iron.
It's a classic black tea.
Classic. So, I'm not sure. We probably need to ask people what they would like in the way of merchandising because do you want a cap? Do you want a pen? Do you want a Rolls Royce with the Tiger logo on the side? That'd be nice. Yeah. I'd buy one of those. We're thinking about it. We don't really have an answer yet. But problem with shirts too, if you say, I'll have a medium, by the time it gets to you, it's probably going to be either too big or too small because sizes of t-shirts are all over the place in Thailand and in other parts of the world. So then you've got the problem of having to send it back and I don't know. We're working on it.
Right. And I'm done with all my comments.
Oh, okay. I've got one more from Shamel Rubai. I think I've got that right. Probably wrong. I'm fully vaccinated. What else do I need in order to come back to Thailand? I do live there. I responded, I said, well, book a flight, buy an airline ticket. That's what you need to do. If you're fully vaccinated, you can come to Thailand, contact your embassy to get some more details.
Right, that works. Anyways, those are all the comments for today. Anything else to add?
No, thank you very much for having me.
Right, thank you for being here, Tim. Thank you, Jason, in front of the buttons. Thank you, Golf Behind the Scenes, and thank you, viewers. If you do have any comments or feedback, please leave them in the comment section below, as well as, oh, finally, before we leave, thank you to BYD Lofts for hosting us in your beautiful hotel in Patong. If you'd like to visit BYD Lofts, you can actually visit their website, bydlofts.com, where you can type in the code The Thaiger to get a 10% discount. If you actually come to eat in their restaurants, you'll get another 10% discount for food and beverage.
And a free pickup at the airport.
That's right, a free pickup at the airport. So check out bydlofts.com. Have a great Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow.